story time, people. This one's specifically for the ladies, so I hope I have your full attention. This is a true story about a friend of mine. To give you some context, let me tell you a bit about him. He's in his late 40s, divorced with no children, built like a brick house because he works out 4 to 5 times a week, well-groomed yet rugged, and quite handsome. He works full-time for a Fortune 500 company and has a lucrative and growing side passion. He's a traditional man who believes in paying for dates and bringing small gifts like flowers. Recently, he joined a reputable dating website, put up a profile, was contacted by an attractive young woman, and they eventually planned a date at a coffee shop. He brought flowers, paid for their drinks, and they hit it off, talking for a couple of hours about life, family, professions, jokes, you name it. On their second date, they met at a high-end mall. Again, he paid for both drinks and dinner, and he even brought her a teddy bear of her favorite animal, which he'd asked about earlier. For the third date, he asked her what she wanted to do. She mentioned a restaurant she wanted to try. They met there, and once again, he paid for the drinks and dinner. Afterward, they took a stroll around a mall and ended up in a lingerie shop where she tried on several outfits for him. Liking what he saw, my friend purchased the outfits for her, which totaled $400. She thanked him, they shared a passionate kiss, and then parted ways. The fourth date was an all-day trip to an amusement park. Although she'd indicated she would purchase the tickets, she only had one pass for herself. My friend ended up buying his own ticket, getting drinks for the long trip, paying for food and drinks in the park, and later, after they returned home, stopping to buy dinner for both. It's worth noting that instead of inviting him to stay and eat with her, she requested the food be placed in 2 separate bags. Now, before you guys listening to this jump to calling him a simp or something, let me reiterate that my friend is an old-school traditional gentleman. He wasn't bothered by paying because he could afford it, and he was genuinely enjoying his time with this young woman. He's the kind of man, ladies, who values conversation and getting to know someone over how quickly he can get into bed with you. The type of guy who believes the best form of intimacy is mutual attraction and passion that grows, not out of obligation. So, after the fourth date, where he took her to a high-priced rooftop party in the city and they had another fun and amazing night, he planned to sit her down before her family cruise trip and ask if she wanted to be exclusive with him. In fairness, he mentioned that she had expressed similar feelings toward him. 2 days before her trip, they were having their usual chit-chat over the phone about their day. He asked if she was excited about her trip and mentioned that he'd miss her while she was gone, but hoped she'd have a lot of fun. She then asked him for a favor, to purchase a bag for her trip. He thought she said it cost around $300 and said no problem. He could put it on his card. After all, he has the means and believes in spoiling someone who could be his potential girlfriend. He asked her to send over the link to the bag so he could purchase it and have it shipped to her in time for her trip. The bag cost over $3,000. Stunned, he told her there was no way he could purchase such an expensive bag for all the obvious reasons. She then asked him, "What can you give?" He said he'd talk to her later, and hung up. To all the ladies with this mindset, this is why a lot of good men are the way they are now. I would say, do better. But I can already imagine many of you filling the comment section with how it's somehow my friend's fault. Hopefully, someone will learn a lesson from this, and this has been your reality check.